Okay, previously on Route Double, we died in a horribly painful fashion. Let's not do that, shall we? Now, one thing I was told in the comments was that when we get a yellow senses choice that immediately goes to a red one, it means we fucked up and that's our last chance to unfuck up. So let's go back. This was the yellow choice we had. Let's actually leave it like this, because we don't trust ourselves to handle this. Kazami, help us. Oh! Then Kazami grabbed his collar and violently pulled him back. Got it. As he said this, Watase noticed that there was something caught on his right hand. It was a locket with a broken chain. Kazami had apparently dropped it when she tackled him earlier. Watase quickly put it in his pocket and looked at the sight that lay in front of him. Kazami nimbly handled the hose as she told Watase this in a calm voice. She aimed the jet stream right at the edge of the fire, pushing the flames back. Kazami replied to Watase's praise with a cool and collected tone. Yep, suppress, push the flames back, and then kill the source. You're absolutely right. Kazami quickly swung the hose as she fired off that cold answer. Water swirled like an animal and fell onto the fire in front of them. Flames that had been hardly burning with such fury earlier were now growing smaller and smaller with each passing moment. And soon enough they were gone completely. Extinguishing complete. Kazami turned off the water with that declaration. Jun quickly came running back over and called out to her teammates. It sure was. All of a sudden, she grabbed Watase by the collar. We got distracted. Uh-oh.
そんな甘い考えでこの仕事が務まるとお思いですか。そのざまでは要救助者を助けることは愚か、ご自分の命も守れませんよ。それにどうしてすぐに私の指示に従わなかったのですか。
それはだがあの時はとっさにお前を守らなきゃと思って。
私を守る。生意気言わないでください。いつもの隊長ならともかく、今のあなたにそんな力はありません。
Yeah, true. I think Watase's head snapped at those words.
そういう言い方はないだろう。俺は俺なりに一生懸命。
She's right.
俺は俺なりにですって。
Kazami's eyebrows twitched as she said that. He then grabbed him by the nape of his neck and pushed him against the wall.
命のかかったこの現状で、そんな甘い考えが通用すると思っているのですか。自分なりに頑張りましたとか、一生懸命やりましたとか、そうした意志は意味を持ちません。今求められるのは正しい行動とそれを選び出す冷静さです。私たちは犬死にしに来たんじゃありません。命を救うために来たのですよ。
She's absolutely right.
有利さを発見した時も、隊長は自らの力量も現状の危険性も顧みず、炎の中に飛び込もうとしましたね。おそらくそれもあなたなりに有利さんを助けようと思った結果の行動でしょう。しかし要救助者を助けるために自分の命を捨てるようなやつは英雄なんかじゃない。ただの、これはかつて隊長がご自分でおっしゃった言葉じゃありませんか。そんなことも忘れてしまったあなたはただの一般人と同じです。
Correct. Watase couldn't say anything to that. Felt like he'd been handed an epiphany of how utterly powerless and foolish he'd been. He hung his head crestfallenly and let out a feeble reply.
すまなかった。俺の軽率な行動のせいでみんなを危険な目に遭わせちまって。
分かっていただければ良いのです。ですが隊長、私が今言ったことは絶対に忘れないでくださいね。
Kazami let go of Watase's neck and said that. It was then that Jun nervously cut in.
副隊長、今日の隊長は仕方ないよ。いつもとは違うんだから。
Well, I mean, I'm on Kazami's side here.
本来であれば、あんな軽率な行動は決してしない方でしたから。
But because it's not a normal situation, we need to whip his ass into shape when he tries to do something stupid. Those words pierced Watase's heart. She was right. The Watase Kasasagi of today was different from the normal Watase Kasasagi. So he wished that he could, at the very least, learn from his past self.
なあ、立花。普段の俺はどんなレスキュー隊員だったんだ？
そうですね。冷静で理知的で、とても慎重な方でした。
Curious about something. Huh. I wonder if we literally only jumped to this chapter because we fucked up before. Like if there was a way to completely catch the backdraft in there and handle it properly instead of setting off that fire.
なんかそれヘタレっぽくないか？
とんでもない。隊長はどんな状況でも合理的な判断が下せる理想的なレスキュー隊員だったんです。
そうだね。まあ厳しいことは厳しかったけど筋は通ってたよね。
I mean, we still have no evidence for it, but at this point I'm pretty much convinced that we somehow got consciousness swapped with someone else. Because it's just... I feel like you don't lose your memories and take on a completely different stance than... Well, I suppose your memories would be a big part of forming your worldview and the stance you take against the world. And then, you never know, maybe Watase Kasasagi was a very rash and impulsive boy growing up. And he sort of reverted to that when he lost his memories. I don't know. I still feel like he got consciousness swapped, though, just from the way I'm talking about his amnesia. Someone as competent as Kazami was praising him this much, and he probably really had been a truly superb rescue worker. That thought alone made him curse his current self's incompetence.
分かったよ。とにかくこれからは安全を第一に考えるようにする。自分も含めてだ。
ええ、せめて記憶がいつもの調子が戻るまではそのようにお願いします。では、訓戒はここまで。皆さんのところへ戻りましょう。
Kazami gave that order and started walking again. Watase and Jun followed behind her. His burnt left hand still ached under its glove. God damn it, how pathetic. Ooh. Jun? I mean, I'm gonna dip... Say right now Kazami deserves all of my trust. I mean, let's... Watase thought over the situation. Remember Watase Kasasagi would never have screwed up as badly as he had just now. What kind of relationship had he had with Kazami as lieutenant? Thought this, he suddenly looked at Jun, and to find she was looking at him too.
なんて顔してんのさ。
Oh? Jun said that to Watase with a wry smile.
ひでえ顔してたが。
うん、すごいへこんでる感じ。初めて見る表情だよ。
反省してんだよ。
That was a yellow choice.
自分が
That's
情けなくってな。
interesting.
今日は本当にいつもの体調と違うよね。言うことが私とそっくりだ。
Oh,
そっくりお前と。
実はね、私もしょっちゅうそういうことを思ってるんだ。私なんかにシリウスの隊員が務まんのかなってね。超人だらけだからさ、うちのチームって。隊長と副隊長を筆頭に。
超人か。残念ながら今の俺はそう呼ばれる資格はないよ。
何言ってんのさ。記憶がまっさらなんだから、そんなの当たり前じゃん。
I mean, it's true, but that still caused me to be reckless and put
これ
everyone
で
in
隊長
danger.
が私より活躍したら、私の立つ瀬がないよ。記憶がある分、私の方がレスキュー隊の先輩みたいなもんなんだからね。
Oh no.
そりゃそうかもしれないが。
You're technically true.
まあ、新人同士、力を合わせて頑張っていこうよ。
With that, Jun gave Watase a nice hard slap on the back. She'd be considerate of me. She may not choose her words wisely, but she's not a bad person at heart. Yeah, worthy of trust. Jun continued as those thoughts crossed Watase's mind.
まあ、いつまでもミスを引きずっちゃダメだよ。隊長のミスは私がフォローするから、萎縮しないで頑張って。そうやってちょっとずつ勘取り戻していこう。
ありがとう。できるだけ早く追いつくから、それまではよろしく頼むよ、先輩。
Ah,
ほう、任せてよ、後輩。
senpai Kohai. Rookie. Watase and Jun broke out into a smile at that exchange. A strong feeling of reassurance broke through the clouds of self-pity covering Watase's heart. Aw. Escape. By the time Watase's group made it back to the inner ring, Anna and the others were waiting to greet them.
何かあったの？爆発音みたいのが聞こえたけど。
Don't worry about it.
いや、バックドラフトってのを起こしちまってな。
We don't talk about it. We're done talking about it. Watase informed Anna, Ukita, and Yuri of what had transpired back in the outer ring.
外周島でそれほどの火災が？どうした浮田さん、そんなに驚いて。いや、想像していた以上に火災が広がっていると思ってね。
だね。こんなに広がると分かっていたら、隊長も浮田さんを置き去りにしていかなかっただろうし。
俺もひどいことをしたもんだ。すまないな、浮田さん。それはもういい。それより捜索を急いだ方がいいんじゃないかね。
It is.
じゃあ次は地下1階をって。あれ？
What? Puzzled look formed on Jun's face before she could finish her sentence.
椿山さん、浮田さん、ゆうりちゃんは？
Taken aback with shock, everyone looked around them. Yuri was nowhere to be found.
どこに行ったんだ、ユーリは。
Oh boy.
わからないわ。さっきまで一緒にいたのに。
ついさっきまでは目を離さずにいたんだ。本当だ。
Oh, Anna. I don't know why she would,
逃げたの？どうして？
わかりませんが、まずいですよ、これは。ここは一人で出歩くには危険すぎます。
Anna gasped sharply at Kazami's words. Watase saw what appeared to be a look of guilt cover her face.
先生、すぐ探しに行くぞ。
そうね。まだ遠くへは行ってないはずだわ。
Guilt. Two of them exchanged glances and simultaneously broke off into a run. They heard the other members of the group talking and talking, off running sooner after later. talking and taking off running soon after.
森部、浮田さん、我々も探しに行きますよ。
了解。
あ、急ごう。
Watase turned to Anna as they dashed through the hallway.
先生、ユーリはどこに行ったと思う？
わからないわ。だけどセキュリティゲートが開いた音とかは聞こえなかったと思う。
It was then that Watase realized it. Security gates and doors to each laboratory made a loud sound whenever they opened or closed. You go through a security gate to get out of this area. And Yuri most likely doesn't have a card, which means that she probably can't get out of this area.
先生、その辺にある小部屋の扉が開いた音は聞いたか？
それも聞いてないわ。
ということは。
So there was only one answer. Anna's head suddenly shot upwards.
きっと上の階に向かったんだわ。
Staircase, unlike the mechanical sliding doors that stood in front of every other room, stairwells had normal fireproof doors. If you were careful enough to open that door without making sound, you could get away without anyone noticing.
行こう、先生。
ええ。
The two nodded at each other and headed for the emergency staircase. When they got there,
いた。
Yuri was standing in that dim room. Yuri froze with a jolt. What are you doing, girl? What are you doing, kiddo? Watase and Anna ran up the staircase and grabbed Yuri by the arm.
ユーリ、勝手にいなくなるなよ。心配したぞ。
Watase gently put his hand on Yuri's shoulder. Yuri hung her head like a dog that had been scolded.
ユーリさん、どうして一人で逃げたりしたの？
私怖くて。
怖い？
怖いって何が？
それは。
ユーリ、別に怒ったりしないから先生の質問に答えるんだ。
Watase let go of her arm and spoke with kind voice. Yuri then nervously started talking as if she'd finally prepared herself.
さっきの爆発
Oh.
音が。
爆発音？それじゃあユーリさんはその音に驚いてここまで逃げてきたっていうの？
Understandable. Watase and Anna looked at each other.
よほど怖がりなんだな。
Watase gave a wry smile and turned back to the door.
おいみんな、ユーリがいたぞ。
It wasn't long before they heard the sound of Kazami and the others running over. As soon as she got there, Kazami gave Yuri a stern glare.
ダメですよユーリさん。一人で行動しては。危険だって言ってるじゃないですか。あんまり勝手なことすると私も怒りますよ。
Yuri's voice trembled in the face of Kazami's harsh scolding. Watase quickly cut in.
ちょっと待ってくれ、立花。あまり叱らないでやってくれるか。
何ですって？
ユーリは俺の起こしたバックドラフトの爆炎に驚いて思わず逃げてしまったらしいんだ。つまり言ってみりゃ俺のせいなんだよ。だからその怒鳴るのもほどほどに。
You could even scold me some more, too. I deserve it. Watase said this nervously, seeing as how he'd been on the end of a scolding from Kazami himself just a few minutes ago. A troubled look appeared on her face.
そうですか。しかし一人で行動したらもっと危険ですよ。
そうだよユーリちゃん。私らと一緒にいるのが一番安全だよ。
僕も素人だがね、プロの言うことは聞いておいた方がいいと思う。
すみません。
I can't blame you for getting scared. Yuri was practically shrinking after having every adult in the room scold her at once. Hey, you key to try to be gentle about
まあ
it.
まあ、どのみち地下1階に上がるところだったんだし、手間が省けたじゃないか。
体調は甘いです。こういうことが続くと助かる命も助けられません。
それはそうだが、でももう分かったよな、ユーリも。
This kind of thing is more instinctual than, oh fuck, I'm not gonna run next time I hear a loud fucking explosion, so. She said this in a nearly inaudible voice. Even Kazami looked a bit embarrassed at herself.
わかればいいのです。それでは行きましょうか。
Kazami took Yuri's hand and ascended the staircase. Yuri, I'm sorry. I promise I will try and cause less explosions. Jun and Ukita followed after them. Last but not least, Watase and Enna began to walk up the stairs. Just then,
隊長さん。
Enna grabbed Watase's hand and whispered that.
どうした？
ユーリさんだけど、さっき追いかけてきたあなたを見てビクッとしてなかった？
ああ、確かに。
Watase suddenly remembered something just as he said that. How she'd reacted earlier and her attitude up until this point.
っていうか実はさ、最初に会った時からなんか嫌われてるみたいなんだよ。
嫌われてる？どうして？
Gee, if I could remember, maybe I'd know.
いや、俺にもわからん。なんでなんだろう。
Watase started to wonder if Yuri had a problem with him or something. He looked at Enna's face and asked.
なあ先生、俺の顔って怖いかな？
怖いって別にまあ普通の顔だわよ。若干間抜けな感じの。
Well, geez, harsh.
言うね。
Watase asked another question as he felt the pain of Enna's retort in his heart.
しかし、どうやら顔が問題ってわけじゃないみたいだな。他に原因があるのかな？
なんでしょうね。思い当たることは？
何もないんだが。そういや先生は教師だったな。生徒にわけもなく嫌われることってあるか
Enna looked confused about Watase's question.
そんなことあるわけないじゃない。私、生徒に愛されてるし。
ああ、そう。じゃあその秘訣は？
そうね。まあ強いて言うなら子供たちに惜しみなく愛を注ぐことかしら。
Ah.
愛？
そうよ、愛。常に子供たちのことをおもんぱかり目を配る。手間を惜しまず労をいとわずね。多少押し付けがましくても相手のことをちゃんと心から考えていればきっと気持ちも伝わるはずだから。
That's admirable, I suppose.
そういうものかね。
He couldn't say anything for sure since he didn't know what the normal Enna's relationship with her students was like, but he decided to keep that advice in mind. At the same time, he noticed a gaping hole in Enna's speech and decided to exploit it.
でも先生よ、常に子供に目を配ってる割には有利が逃げたことに気づかなかったみたいだな。
That's for calling me a dunce.
言いたいところつくわね。だからちょっと落ち込んでたのよ。
まあこれからはお互い有利には常に目を配っておこうぜ。
あなたに言われなくても分かってるわよ。
The two of them reached the top of the stairs by the time Enna finished saying that, and officially reached floor B1. Area 3, in a ring. B1. Knocking on heaven's door, oh boy. There were no signs of fire there. The Procyon reading was only 1792 millisiville, so it posed no threat on that front either.
どうやら今のところこのフロアは安全のようだな。では引き続き二手に分かれて捜索を行うかね。
いちいちチームを決め直すのも時間が欲しいわ。早く捜索に入りましょう。
そうだね。相変わらず AD も見つかってないし。
では我々が外周塔を、森部たちは内周塔をお願いします。
No one offered any objections. Like last time, they split into teams of Watase Kazami Yuri, and Jun Ukita Enna, and began their search of Area 3 B1. Okay, so the initial teams. First, Watase headed towards the outer ring with Kazami and Yuri. When they tried to open the security gate in the connecting passageway that led to the outer ring, it refused to accept the card. It's a level 3 gate, so a level 4 card should have been more than enough to open it. Even after they put the card in the slot again, the door still wouldn't open.
そう。 壊れてるみたいだ。他の通路から入れるか？
確認します。
Kazami said this and took out the map she'd drawn earlier.
現在位置がここ。そしてここの扉が開かないと。で、この第2エリア側からの通路もセキュリティスロットが消失していて入れませんでした。
そういえばここの階段も崩れてたから別の階から行くことはできないな。
となると遠回りになりますが、第4エリア側から入るしかないようですね。
ますますまずいな。AD が足りないってのに。
They only had 10 minutes left until the effects of their last AD shot wore off.
せめてあと1本でもあればな。
A shy voice spoke up after Watase had muttered this. Yuri?
どうした？
いよいよになったら私が投与を諦めればいいんじゃないかって。
何言ってるんですか、ユーリさん。あなたにそんなことはさせられません。
Yuri trembled with the start.
そうだぞユーリ。その時はむしろ俺が。
いえ、そういうことを考えるのはタイムリミットが来てからです。
そうか。
それより一旦内周島に戻りましょう。時間が惜しいです。
Kazami quickly started walking off, followed closely by Watase and Yuri. Watase felt something was off about Yuri. What is it about her that's so strange? She was by no means being uncooperative with the search. True, she was very scared, but there was also a kind part of her that tried to put others before herself like she'd seen just now. So then why'd she try to run off by herself? Remember the look Yuri had given him when they'd first seen each other? She'd definitely been afraid when she saw him. Could be that she's still scared of me. And if that's the case, then why? Just Watase thought this. Uh-oh! Heard an ear-piercing scream.
今のは？
ジュンさんたちの声。
Uh-oh. Yuri was speaking in a loud voice for the first time in what seemed like ages.
行きましょう。
Kazami broke off into a fierce dash without a moment's hesitation. Watase took Yuri by the hand and followed suit. He turned a corner to find Jun and the others backing out of a room.
隊長。
What?
どうした？何があったんだ？
Ukita in particular seemed quite shaken up, as he started muttering nigh incomprehensibly upon seeing Watase and the others.
皆さん、落ち着いてください。一体何事ですか？
It was then that Anna mumbled in dazed shock, her face pale.
死体
Oh,
死体がたくさん。
while the air in the hallway froze at that moment.
先生、死体って？
あの部屋の中に。
焼死体でしょうか？
The image of Natsuhiko and the others, their bodies horribly charged, passed through Watase's mind for a moment. But Jun shook her head.
違うんだよ。それならまだわかるんだけど。
それってどういう？
あの部屋に入ればわかるよ。
Jun looked at the nearby door with a confounded look on her face. The door was already shut. They could still smell what appeared to be rust coming from it. What's that stench? Dead bodies. No sooner had the thought crossed Watase's mind than he was gripped by an inexplicable feeling of terror. He took a big gulp and prepared himself.
ユーリは下がってた方がいい。
Yeah, you don't need to see this. Yuri nodded with a frozen look on her face.
隊長、副隊長、いい？
ええ。
Jun walked up to the room, opened the door. A body has been discovered! I'm sorry. The first thing that flooded into his eyes was red. The room was dyed with the color of blood. Lying close by Watase's feet in that pool of blood were 2 crumpled bodies. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? And there was one more body deeper into the room. A body wearing the same kind of radiation protection suit that Kazami and Jun had shown him earlier. The second she saw it, Kazami shouted,
そんなあれはあの死体は
Jun nodded with a look of grief on her face and answered,
堂島先輩だよ。
Oh no. Watase gasped at those words. Though he didn't remember the name, the fact that Jun did meant...
まさかあの人は俺たちの。
彼は我々と同じ A チームのメンバーです。
どうしてこんなことに。
Kazami and Jun fell onto their knees right then and there. What the hell is this? Watase had expected that any bodies he would find in this facility would be those who had burned to death. That clearly wasn't the case here. These corpses had lost their lives at the hands of others. Yes, they had clearly been murdered.
一体ここで何が。
No one answered that question. Watase just stood frozen in a daze in that room filled with the stench of blood. People had been trapped in a facility with a melted-down nuclear reactor. He'd thought that was the worst things could get. They were already in a hell where a moment's distraction could lead to death. Perhaps fire and radiation were not the only threats to the group's lives out there. For 8 more hours until the lockdown was lifted. Life and death drama they were all a part of had only just begun. Well. That was chapter 1. Okay. Watase kept himself from shivering and took in the terrifying spectacle that lay before his very eyes. We're only just getting started, ladies and gentlemen. Bodies at his feet were wearing what appeared to be white lab coats. It wasn't strange for there to be researchers in this facility. What was strange was the fact that their bodies were full of countless bullet holes. They were shot. Given that they were lying with their heads turned towards the door, it was possible that they'd been trying to escape from the room. Various sized holes in their body, especially the big ones in their stomachs, exposed their innards. The organ that had shaped whom they once were now oozed out of their split heads, leaving a slimy stain on the floor. Oh, that's a lot of detail. Ugh. He instinctively looked away from the horrible evidence of how the men died. Further in the room was one other body. remains of the rescue worker who Kazami and Jun had called Dojima. His case was even stranger. His limbs were bent in unnatural directions, his fingers broken at their bases as if they'd been tortured. Jesus! Flesh from the nape of his neck had been torn off, blood oozing out of it. Bones also appeared to have been twisted and crushed. His face was warped in agony, and his tongue was sticking out of his mouth in a slovenly manner. What the hell is this? What could have happened to cause him to die like this? It's hard to believe any human could have done this. Looked more like he'd been grabbed and casually crushed by a giant hand. It didn't feel as if any person could have done an act so horrific. It was more like the work of a monster or something. The whole thing in general was strange. What was it that those two had been shot to death while this one had died differently?
この部屋で一体何が
Kazami answered, quietly rising to her feet.
わかりません。ですが、彼らはこの部屋を簡易基地にしていたようです。
Watase looked at the room more closely. He noticed there were several objects that appeared to be broken equipment.
これは
削岩機ですね。おそらく壁や扉を破壊するために持ち込んだのでしょう。
Watase picked it up and pressed the switch, but it didn't respond at all. Looked like one of the bullets had shot the motor right out. There were two broken ampules lying nearby.
エディが
One of them had been smashed like someone had stepped on it. The other one was still in its original form. The container was still cracked, the liquid inside leaking out.
支給された分のようですね。
Kazumi picked up the cracked AD and said that. Just then Jun broke her silence.
堂島先輩もこの人たちにそれを投与してたのかな。
そうかもしれませんね。堂島も彼らを保護し、脱出を図ってたのでしょう。
Jesus.
私たちと同じだね。でもこんなのってないよ。どうして堂島先輩が殺されなきゃなんないの？
Watase could say nothing as he watched Jun say that and hang her head. It wasn't sad. It didn't feel real to him, like it was an event that had happened in a TV show. And though it was his very own squad mate who was dead. The now amnesiac Watase, the death of his supposed squad mate Dojima, felt the same as the death of a total stranger. And he hated himself for that. Kazumi gently wrapped her hands around Jun's shoulders as the latter bit her lips.
考えすぎてはダメです。檜山の遺体がないところを見ると、彼はまだ生きているはずです。せめてそれを救いとしましょう。ひとまず出ましょうか。これ以上ここに長居するのは私も辛いですから。
Watase and Jun nodded and headed for the door with Kazumi. Kazumi and Jun gave a small salute before they exited. A final send-off to their colleague who had been killed under mysterious circumstances. All Watase did was just stand by and watch them. At the moment they left the room, Ukita grabbed Watase by the collar.
おい隊長さん、一体ここで何があったんだ
What?
3人も殺され、削岩機まで壊されて。君が何か知ってるんじゃないのか。いえ、言うんだ。そんなこと俺にわかるわけないだろう。
Kazumi frantically pulled Ukita off of him.
浮田さん、どうか落ち着いてください。我々だって同僚が殺されて混乱しているんです。
無茶言うな、こんな状況で。
Before Ukita could continue his ranting and raving.
やめてください。
Yuri! Tearful voice echoed around them.
有利。
暴れたりしないで。今そこで死んでいるんでしょ。もしまたそんなことが起きたら。
It was the first time Watase had ever seen a look like that on Yuri's face. Still strained with fear, but there was a clear, fierce will in her eyes. Rationality returned to Ukita's eyes as soon as he heard her.
すまない。僕としたことが取り乱してしまって。仕方ないさ。
Yeah?
ところで、あの研究員の方々は浮田さんの知り合いだったのですか？
いや、実は知らないんだ。仕方ないだろう。部署が違えば顔を合わせる機会なんてめったにないんだから。
There was something about Ukita's explanation that didn't sit right with Watase. He didn't know them, then what was he getting so worked up for? But Anna suddenly cut in.
それにしても、どうして彼らは殺されたのかしら。
The way her hair kinda so bloody long and is in a constant swirl, it looks like she has a tail. I'm not gonna lie.
AD を奪おうとしてとか。
That's been bugging me for a while.
いや、それは多分違う。AD はあの部屋に残されていたからな。それより犯人はなぜ拳銃なんか持っているんだ。そっちの方が俺は気になる。
確かに。
Ukita's eyes suddenly widened in shock at that moment.
みんな気をつけた方がいい。犯人はこの施設の中に残っているかもしれない。何？あの3人が隔壁が閉まってから殺されたとしたら、当然犯人も我々と同じくこの施設の中に閉じ込められているということになる。もし銃を持ってる者がラボ内をうろついているとしたら、僕らの命を脅かすのは火災と放射線だけじゃない。
The three spirits of death: fire, radiation, and gun.
何言ってるのよあなた。それってまさか私の生徒たちを疑ってるんじゃないでしょうね。
いや、そんなつもりはない。子供たちにあんな残酷なことができるわけはないだろう。だが危険人物が施設内にいるかもしれないんだ。捜索のためとはいえ不用意に動かない方がいいかもしれないぞ。
はあ？甘ったれたこと言わないでよ。だからこそ早く生徒たちを探さなきゃいけないのに。
You get points deducted, boy. You can stay there. That's what you get for accosting me, Ukita. Why does I frantically cut in? Just as it looked like another argument was about to start.
ちょっと待てよ、浮田さん。ね、なんだね。犯人も閉じ込められていると思うのは早計だ。犯人だって放射線や火災は怖いはずなのに、わざわざレスキュー隊の人間を殺す必要はないだろう。
そうよ。隊長さんの言う通りだわ。
On one hand, when it came down to, since it came down to this, I don't know if I agree with you, Anna. And if we're wrong, Ukita, then tell us what you've been hiding. Ukita shut his mouth at Watase and Anna's combined assault, with Kazami soon backing them up.
それに、あの隊員が持っていた AD が破壊されていました。
Kazami's approach being, if they wanted to kill people and destroy the means of survival, then they would have gotten out before their lockdown started, right?
もし隔壁が閉まった後に彼らが殺されたのなら AD を破壊するわけがありません。
Exactly.
あの3人は 隔壁が閉じる前に殺されたのでしょう。犯人の目的などは分かりませんが、だったら彼らを殺した後でも十分に逃げる時間があります。
Kazami's tone was calm, but her eyes were wavering. She too was grieving, and yet here she was, desperately reprimanding Ukita and Anna. Both of them.
しかし僕はこの施設の職員として君たちの安全をだね。
ですからもう犯人は逃げたのです。そう考えるべき。
Before Kazami could say anything more, a beep suddenly echoed through the hallway.
何の音だ？
ああ、私の腕時計のアラームです。
Taken aback, Watase checked his watch. The show reading said 10:16 a.m. on it.
前回の AD が切れていない方もいるかと思いますが、安全を期し一緒に投与することにしましょ
そうか。議論は置いておいて、とりあえずみんな投与しよ
うん、命がかかってるもんね。
Jun seemed to have come back to her senses as she quickly distributed AD to Enna, Ukita, and Yuri. Enna and Ukita injected themselves immediately.
う。これでまた1時間は大丈夫なのよね。
ああ。
Enna and Ukita muttered that. But Yuri and Yuri alone still hadn't injected herself for some reason.
ユーリさん、どうしたのですか？
私やっぱり打ちたくない。
またそんなことをおっしゃっているのですか？わかりました。ならば私が打ちましょう。
嫌です。
いけません。
Oops! It's like last time, Kazami injected Yuri with AD without hearing the latter out. There were now only 2 AD left. Watase, Kazami, and Jun exchanged glances.
早速足りなくなっちゃったね。
どうする？
どうするって決まっています。
Eh?
隊長と森部が投与してください。
What?
なんで俺たちが？
隊長のお体はまだ万全ではないでしょう。無理をさせるわけにはいきません。そして森部は我々の中で一番体が小さいです。放射線への耐性も低いと考えるべきでしょう。
Okay, Jun definitely, but
でも副隊長はどうするの？
once Jun asked this, Kazami held out something to her and Watase.
これを使います。
It was the damaged ampule that had been lying near Dojima's body just minutes ago. Only half of it still remained, the other half having leaked out through the cracks in the container.
バカな。そんな中途半端な量で体を保護しきれるのか？
That means we have half an hour then,
どう
right?
でしょう。
Is that how medicine works?
どうだろうか。薬剤の量が半減すれば効果も半減しそうなものだが。
That is how medicine works, apparently. Okay.
あるいは有効時間が半分になるのか。正直僕にもわからない。
We are rolling the dice.
しかしこの量でも使わないより使った方がいいのですね。
ああ、それはそうだな。
ちょっと待ってよ。いくらなんでも危険すぎるよ。
It is better than nothing. Jun showed her Prokian to Kazami.
プロキオンの数値は現在2035ミリシーベルト。今でも命に関わる線量の上、さらに上昇してるんだよ。
Oh, this is bad.
そうだ。もしその AD の効果がちゃんと発揮されなかったら、お前は被爆して。
ではどうすればいいのですか？事実として AD は足りないのです。あなた方がどう言おうと私はこの破損した AD を投与します。
Ah.
でも
口答えするな、森部。
Oh no. Danger. Do we trust her, or do we take the half ampule? Kazami's angry shouts echoed through the hallways as if to ward off Jun's pleas.
これは命令です。 つべこべ言ってる時間が惜しい。今この瞬間にも我々は被爆しているのです。
I'm actually gonna leave it like this.
私を心配するのなら直ちに AD を投与し捜索を続行してください。
Because again, she's making good points. Though he was overwhelmed by her menacing attitude, Watase still argued back.
いや待て、その半端な AD は俺が投与する。女にそんな無茶をさせられるか。
Really?
女？私を女と呼びましたか？だから気遣っているとでも？
Okay, so this is an obvious sign that we made the wrong choice.
生意気言わないでください。あなたは出発するとき、私の指揮下に入ると言ったはずでし
I'm not gonna lie, I just want to see what the game over. What? Things I don't understand why we have her trust max and ours is low, so why are we doing this?
ならば、粛々と命令に従いなさい。
Kazami glared at Watase. He didn't back down. Oh my
いいか
god.
らよこせ。
Oh. Watase snatched the damaged AD out of Kazami's hands and injected himself with it.
何をするんですか？
これ以上話し合っていても拉致が開かないからだ。
Watase gave Kazami the undamaged AD and spoke.
ほら、早くこれを投与しろ。時間が惜しいと言ったのはお前だぞ。
わかりましたよ。
We've ruined trust with Kazami, though. Jun quickly followed suit. Kazami sighed, then spoke to Ukita and the others.
お騒がせしました。これで AD の投与が済みましたね。
ああ。
そうね。
I did not expect that to go that direction. The way our senses were aligned. It was like they'd still taken it back from seeing the altercation between the rescue workers. Ukita and the others were now quiet, like their mere fight mere minutes ago had never happened.
では、大きなトラブルがありましたが、今後のことを話しましょう。
Kazami spoke with a calm voice, betraying none of the anxiety she must have felt from her co-worker's death at the lack of AD.
まず、第3エリアはおよそ捜索が終了しましたが、B1 の外周灯だけは未捜索です。しかし、セキュリティスロットが壊れていて入れません。そこで第4エリアに進もうと思うのですが、要救助者の方々、大丈夫でしょうか？
大丈夫とは何がだね。
遺体を見た直後で捜索を続行するということについて、精神的に大丈夫かということです。
Fair. Ukita and Yori gasped at those words, but in contrast, Anna replied in a subdued tone.
決まってるわよ。
そうか。だったら一緒に行こう。しかし、やはり犯人がうろついている可能性が。
まだ言っているの、浮田さん。動くのは危険だというのはわかるし、ここでのんびりしているのは勝手よ。でも動かなければ死を待つだけかもしれないわよ。
It makes sense to keep the most competent rescue worker alive, but the way we went about it was a bit... I don't know.
そう。それに AD も現状0本だ。正直、捜索の手は一人でも多い方がいい。
I'm just gonna see how this plays out.
隊長さんの身のこともあるしね。自分たちの AD を確保するためにも捜索を手伝うべきじゃないかしら。
He didn't die immediately, so...
確かにな。
Kita reluctantly nodded. It seemed even he, with all his stubbornness, had realized how harsh the situation was.
ゆりちゃんはどうする？私も一緒に行きます。確かに。
Probably for the
そ
best.
の方が何かと安全でしょう。我々の目の届くところに全員いた方がいいです。
Kazami then turned her head. She was looking at the Area 4 connecting passageway.
では次のエリアに進みましょう。幸いあちらのセキュリティ端末は無事なようですので。
ああ。
With that low voice, the group started walking off again. Electric Dragon, 80,000 volts. The group up at the security gate and walked through the connecting passageway. They were totally out of AD. And they were still in a situation that left no margin for error. It's not just for me. It's an issue that we need to think about in the next hour. Oh? Last time they taken AD was at 10:16 a.m. They had to find 6 or more AD by the time their effects wore off at 11:16 a.m. Though they just learned that their coworker had died, there was no time to grieve. That's probably why Kazami was putting on such a brave face. Watase quietly walked over to her and whispered.
立花、お前本当に大丈夫なのか？
隊長、私への気遣いは無用です。それよりご自分の心配を。分かった。先を急ごう。ええ。
Watase and Kazami said this, then broke off on a run down the connecting passageway. The moment they rounded the corner, everyone came to a dead stop. Oh. That part of the passageway was partially flooded. A fire hose had been left lying around not too far ahead. Water poured out of it, creating a puddle in the passageway.
どうしたのよ、水たまりくらい。さっさと先に進みましょうよ。
いや、よく見ろよ、先生。
Watase pointed to the wall. Part of it had collapsed, most likely due to an explosion. Something that appeared to be a disconnected cable jutted out of there, touching the puddle and shooting sparks.
なんだこれは。なぜこんなことに。
誰かが消火でもしようとして偶然こうなったのでしょうか。
There's a highly localized hole in the wall. Oh, no, that's a much bigger hole in the wall. Coincidence? Could something like this really have happened naturally? Thought this for a second, but then chose not to say anything. That's a fair question.
まあ原因はどうあれ、進む方法をまず考えよう。
Watase stared at the puddle intently. It's about 5 or so meters wide. One would have get past that and pull the cable out of the puddle, and everyone else could walk through it normally. The problem was that it was right in front of the curve, meaning there wasn't any room to get a running start. Watase took some lint out of his pocket and threw it into the puddle as a test. That alone caused fierce sparks to flash.
いや、足でも突っ込んだら死んじまうな。
他に第4エリアへ行く道はないのかしら。
This music is hardcore. We are indeed approaching death.
あるはずです。遠回りになりますが、迂回しましょう。
As soon as Kazami said that, words poured out of Watase's head on instinct.
待て、時間が惜しい。
どういうおつもりで？
Something stupid.
なーに、助走なしで5メートルなら、俺ならまるで問題ない距離だ。
Something very stupid. Watase said those words with a kind of confidence to him. Not only are we pressed for time, but Tachibana and Moribe must be reeled down for just having lost their squad mate. Time to get myself killed again. Got to do something myself in order to rally them up. I wanted to get rid of the depressed atmosphere that had taken hold of them, even if it meant braving such a great danger.
全員、ちょっと通路を開けてくれ。ほら、浮田さんも先生もだ。
Watase forced everyone to move to the edge of the passageway, clearing enough space for him.
隊長、まさか。
Jun shouted that once she realized what Watase was up to. Watch me, Moribe. Oh. Watase ran right up to the puddle with initial velocity of a 3-step running start and jumped. Pale sparks flew at his feet as soon as he landed. Watase flinched for a moment, but the shock he was expecting never came. Most likely because the only part of him that had landed in the puddle was his soles. They were probably made out of rubber or something. He heard Kazami calling out to him from behind.
隊長、大丈夫ですか？
ああ、大丈夫だ。今放電を止めてやる。
Watase then proceeded to pull the cable out of the puddle.
さあ、みんなもう大丈夫だ。
いや、ちょっと待ってみんな。まず私から入るから。
She would approach the puddle just as Watase had said, then stepped in it as softly as she possibly could. But nothing happened.
いや、大丈夫。平気みたいだよ。ほら、みんなどうぞ。
As soon as they heard that, everyone ran through the puddle and up to Watase.
隊長さん、危ないことするわね。見てるこっちが怖かったわよ。
Not exactly how I had it planned out in my head, but all's well that ends well. Let's end this episode with we only have 2 tips for today, but they're doozies. Fire extinguishing. In the world of firefighting, a fire can be either suppressed or extinguished. The fine nuance between the two differs depending on the organization, but suppressing a fire means that a fire phenomenon has been returned to normal. Engine crew has brought the fire under control, so even if the fire has not completely disappeared, the fire can be said to be suppressed. In contrast, extinguishing a fire means the chief executive in charge of the scene has determined that no further firefighting from the engine crew is necessary. The chief executive in charge of the scene at the Labo fire was originally Watase, but since Kazami took command in his place after he lost his memory, the duty of determining a fire's extinguishment fell to her. So suppression is, we've curbed its spread, it can no longer spread, it's gonna burn out. Extinguishing is just, we put it the fuck out. Step voltage shock. In the same way that water flows from high heights to low heights, electricity flows from high voltages to low voltages. A step voltage shock happens when a voltage difference between 2 points is about a meter apart, the size of a human step. Voltage difference between 2 points about a meter apart, the size of a human step, causes electricity to flow. I didn't finish that sentence properly. This is the reason why when lightning strikes, the electricity can move through the ground to shock someone nearby. Water flows from high to low. Electricity flows from high voltage to low voltage. Step voltage shock, voltage difference between 2 points about a meter apart, causes electricity to flow. So electricity can flow through the ground when the high voltage is high enough, I suppose. Conversely, if there's no voltage difference between 2 points, no electricity will flow, and therefore no shock. If Watase snapped his feet together and stood perpendicularly, he could potentially avoid a shock. Then again, that posture will not allow for him to clear the electrified puddle of water in Labo. Also of note is that the step voltage can explain why birds can safely perch on the power lines. Both of their tiny feet can contact the same power line. If they regularly stepped on 2 different lines, then the streets would be rife with fried chicken. Toasty! Oh boy, well that was I suppose we've officially started the game. I was wondering why we didn't get an opening video of any sort between the sort of prologue and waking up with our memories lost. But now we're in it. Now business has picked up. And I have a bad feeling that we're going to be doomed because of our choice to take the half AD. Which really felt counterintuitive, because I guess the rationalization for that is that we trust Kazami more, so we want her to have the full AD? Oh, right. That part of it is how much we value ourselves. So we value ourselves less than her, therefore we're gonna take the half AD. So, you might hate me for this, but I think I'm gonna ride this path out and see how it gets us killed. That felt like the bad choice. If that yellow choice straight into a red choice is an indicator of a bad ending, that felt like that was the bad ending choice. Felt like we should have valued ourselves a bit more. I wonder if we had maxed both out, we would have taken the whole AD. Don't know. But we're gonna let this play out. See what happens. Next time on Route Double. Till next time, until then. Thanks for watching.